Hi everyone and welcome. I'll just give it a couple more minutes for more people to join. So hello everyone and thank you for joining our examinations webinar today. My name is Rosie and I'm an examinations administrator here at the Ophthalmology Foundation. So as an overview, the Ophthalmology Foundation has been in operation for just over 5 years now, and it is dedicated to eradicating unnecessary blindness through education worldwide, especially in under-resourced countries. We offer many programs in education, such as mentorship and faculty development, and our latest initiative, which is our examinations, which we are here to speak to you about today. The Ophthalmology Foundation is a global initiative with a board of directors made up of members across the world and our dedicated examinations committee, again with members from across the globe. So before we get started on our presentations about the Ophthalmology Foundation today, I would just like to ask the panelists to please introduce themselves. So Nicola, if I could start with you, please.
Thank you, Rosie. I'm Nicola Quilter and I'm the Examinations Director for the Ophthalmology Foundation.
Thank you. And Cordula?
Hello, everybody. My name is Cordula. I'm from Munich, Germany, and I'm in charge of the EOFF-OF Subspecialty Fellowship Program. Thank you for listening to our show.
Thank you. And Adiola, could you introduce yourself, please? Oh, I think you're on mute still, Adiola.
I'm trying to, okay, yeah.
There you
Good
are.
evening, sorry, I'm in the car. I will be home in a minute. This is Adeola Onokoya from Lagos, Nigeria, the College of Medicine and LUTH. Thank you. From an examination committee member. Thank
Great.
you.
Thank you very much. And then finally, Vicky, if you could introduce yourself, please.
Hello, I'm Vicky and I'm an examinations administrator for the Ophthalmology Foundation.
Great, thank you. So just before we begin, we do have a section at the end of the presentations to answer any questions you may have. Thank you very much if you submitted any upon registering for this webinar. There's also a Q&A box at the bottom of your screen. So if you have any questions throughout the course of this, please pop them there and we will get to them at the end of all of the presentations. I'd now like to hand things over to Nicola, our examinations director, who has a presentation prepared. Thank you.
Thank you, Rosie. A good day to everyone, and thank you for joining us today. Today, I'm pleased to introduce the Ophthalmology Foundation International Examinations, which are internationally standardized assessments designed to support excellence, consistency, and fairness in ophthalmology worldwide. These examinations are delivered across the world, allowing candidates from many regions to access the same high-quality assessment. Wherever a candidate trains and practices, the standard remains exactly the same. At their heart, these online examinations assess knowledge across the full breadth of ophthalmology. They provide a reliable and meaningful way to benchmark performance locally, nationally, and internationally. The fees are based on the World Bank Index, meaning that they're low cost compared to any other international exam. And there's a 3-way and a 6-way payment plan to also support candidates' application. The papers are aligned to the BCSC. All questions are mapped to the American Academy of Basic Science and Clinical Sciences course. It covers the full breadth of ophthalmology, which ensures consistency, relevance, and global comparability. The questions and papers are regularly reviewed and updated in line with the BCSC developments. Oversight of the examination is provided by an international experienced executive committee. This ensures that strong governance, academic integrity, and continuous review. Louisa Mayer is the chair of the exams, who's from Columbia, originates from Columbia, based in the UK. Then Richard Bowman, Rebecca Ford are responsible for the exam papers. And then as you'll see, Cole Golnick is a member, but he is also the head of education. Bertide Seitz is the head of the fellowships. And then obviously Adiola Onokoya, who's joining us today, is also a valued member of the team. The examination framework is carefully structured into 3 sections. And together these reflect the progression from scientific foundations through optics to comprehensive clinical practice, so with visual sciences, optics and refraction, and clinical ophthalmology. The visual sciences is 120 single best answer questions, one correct answer, and complete over a 3-hour period. Topics include anatomy, genetics, pharmacology, and ophthalmic pathology. And here's an example of the question, and you'll see that we are not testing your English language, we are testing your knowledge. So you'll find that quite a lot of the questions are repetitive in the style that they're asked. So for example, regarding the blood-retina barrier, which one, so we're asking for one correct answer, of the following statements is most likely to be true? And then you'll see from A to D that they're alphabetically listed, which is easier for recall. Again, not testing the English language, we're testing your knowledge. Optics and refraction in instruments includes 60 single best answer questions over a 90-minute period, and that includes optics, refraction, and instruments, which are equally weighted throughout the paper. Again, here's an example of one of the questions, and we are asking which one of the following is the orientation of the streak of light when performing retinoscopy for astigmatism. Again, we're asking for one correct answer, and A to D is alphabetically ordered. We then have our clinical ophthalmology exam, which is our largest section of the exams. It includes 160 questions over a 4-hour period, spanning all major ophthalmic subjects, including neuro-ophthalmology, orbit, uveitis, cataract, community and public health, with a small section on general medicine related to ophthalmology. As our exam is conducted online, it allows us to use photographs, tables, and videos. And this question relates to a photograph. It's a more clinically structured question. So it will refer to the photograph, and then again, A to D, the possible answers are in alphabetical order. Support candidates, we have practice questions in all subjects that are available via our website. We have suggested reading list that aligns to the examination content, access to high quality materials, which are online via the website. And also we're working with CyberSite, which is part of Orbis, on a dedicated portal for prep of exams. That consists of about 250 questions in each subject, and they'll be available in the coming weeks. So exemptions, you have candidates who've already demonstrated competency through a recognised international exam may be granted exemption from our visual and optics exam. And these include the International Council of Ophthalmology, Visual and Optics, passed before or including 2022, the COEXA exams, and the Royal College of Examinations, including the Royal College of Ophthalmologists, Glasgow and Edinburgh. We also translate our papers into several languages, including Chinese, French, Portuguese, Spanish, and Vietnamese. And if there was a request for an additional language, then we would also consider that. When a candidate goes online, they will see the English version and then simultaneously their chosen language. All examination questions are written by international subject experts, and each question undergoes meticulous review to ensure clarity, relevance, and consistency. They're regularly reviewed and updated, and they have a high academic and clinical relevance. The examinations are criterion referenced and standardized using the Angoff method. This supports fairness and enables meaningful comparison of outcomes across regions and institutions. Development is strengthened also through our collaboration with leading international institutions. With alignment to established ophthalmic education standards, we are work in conjunction with Wills Eye Hospital and Wilmer Eye Institute, and we're developing partnerships with leading eye institutions, signing several MOUs, and aligned with the Basic Science and Clinical Sciences standard. We're also working closely with the Royal College of Physicians and Surgeons of Glasgow, and we hope to make an announcement later this week. Delivery mode is secure and reliable, it's modern, and candidates may sit the exam in an approved exam centre with in-person invigilation and also remote AI monitoring. This allows us to monitor your eye movement, screen movement, and check in real time your performance. Taken together, this approach reflects the principles that guide the Ophthalmology Foundation exams. They are modern in their delivery, efficient in their design, and affordable when compared to similar international assessments. This ensures that the highest quality examination standards remain accessible without compromising academic or clinical relevance. Sessions are held twice a year in March and September, and results are released promptly within 2 weeks of the exam date. And as I always say, it's a credit to Vicky and Rosie because the results were released within 6 days for the March exam. And what we believe is that, you know, you're have a bit of stress. Have I been successful? Can I take my next exam? And so releasing the results as quickly as possible to you, we hope that alleviates some of that. So why take the exam? The exam provides internationally recognised certification. It offers a cost-effective way to demonstrate knowledge and benchmark performance against global peers. Candidates awarded FIOF, becoming a fellow of the International Ophthalmology Foundation, and also awarded points towards an IO fellowship. In turn, we believe that achieving a pass enhances the quality of patient care worldwide. Excellence is also recognised through the David and Molly Pyatt Travel Award. The $10,000 award is presented to the highest performing candidate over the 2 sittings in clinical ophthalmology. And I was lucky enough to phone the successful awardee this year from Ethiopia, taking the exam in Rwanda. And I believe that they're going to use their $10,000 towards a fellowship. Candidates consistently describe the exams as fair, clinically relevant, and well-deserved. Well-delivered. The questions are well-structured, clinically orientated, and really test both theoretical and practical understanding. This is our colleague from Libya. The smooth experience from start to finish. And what I think he means there is that you can apply online, you can make payment online, you upload your documents, your photograph, everything online, and then in turn your exam's taken online and your results are uploaded online. So it's a smooth process. We also have two new initiatives. We've established a global ambassador committee to create a network of passionate advocates who will help raise awareness of our exams and educational opportunities. By working together with the ophthalmologists around the world, we will aim to strengthen local engagement, build meaningful partnerships, and expand access to high-quality ophthalmic education for future generations. We're also launching our Partner Spotlight series, which will regularly feature on our partner organisation across Ophthalmology Foundation communication channels. Each spotlight will showcase the organisation's educational activities, achievements and contributions to ophthalmology, giving the greater visibility within our global community. And also it's another way of recognising the value of our partnerships while helping others learn about the excellent work taking place around the world. Future developments. We are starting to run subspecialty exams in retina and glaucoma from March 2027. And we are then going to implement further subspecialties from September 27. As I mentioned, we're in talks with the Royal College of Physicians in Glasgow regarding reciprocity, and we hope to be able to announce that later this week. And we're also working with the fellowships, IR fellowships, in the fact that you will need to take and pass one of our exams as a prerequisite to applying for a fellowship. So the last slide is our QR code, so please feel free to scan that. And last comments, as I said, we are modern, efficient and affordable. We are also on social media, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn and YouTube. If you have any questions, please pop them in the box and we'll answer them post all of our presentations. And equally, if you come off of this call and then think of something, then please email us. Just want to say thank you for your time today. I know you're busy, and we warmly invite you to register for the upcoming exam session and take part in our globally recognised standards. Many thanks for your time today.
Thank you very much, Nicola, for that brilliant presentation. Adeola, we would like to now hand it over to you to share your information to your colleagues about the upcoming exams. Thank you.
Yes. Sorry. Yes, thank you very much. I'm just going to speak. Yes, residency training in Nigeria has been on for the past almost 50 years. And over the years, we've had residents training and going on for about 4 to 5 years. Now, I came into an international examination forum through the ICO. And I can tell you that we have a very high level of participation of our residents in this international exam. So it's not new to us in Nigeria. And there had been a lot of benefits from it. And I know that it is the same benefits that we are going to have through the Ophthalmology Foundation being part of the process, at least in the last 2 years. And residents are currently being encouraged because the point at which it comes is for them to do the exam along their normal residency training program exams. And the only clause or the only question that residents would usually ask is the reciprocity of these exams with UK exams, such that they could have opportunities for one, fellowship training outside of these shores, and also for them to be able to work, if it is possible, outside Nigeria. But majority of them, when they go out, because we've had quite a number going from Nigeria on the platform of these international exams, they go to other countries for fellowship. They've gone to Asia, to Bangladesh, and some were even in the UK, some were opportuned to go to America. But the thing is, in the two countries, Europe and America, all they're able to do is observership. And when they go to Asia, they are able to have hands-on. So they are encouraged to do these exams. And currently in Nigeria, we have two fellowship exams. We have the one for the National Postgraduate College, of which I was a past chairman and currently an examiner. So I've been a board member, chair of the board, and then secretary of the board in the past, like in the past 22 years, since 2004. Yes, in the past 22 years, I've been part of that exam. And similarly, for the West African College of Surgeons, where we have residents also doing that exam. And these are exams with reciprocity at a particular level. But with this one, with the Ophthalmology Foundation, which is what we are trying to promote, is that now we can have a lot of our residents coming up. When they come up to do the OF exams, they have the privilege of going for their fellowship in institutions outside of Nigeria. And as Nicola has said, getting this reciprocity with College of Ophthalmology in Glasgow is, that's a plus. It's an addition to what they stand to benefit, from our own from our own side. And the engaging with OF exams, I assure our residents, I've been passing on the information to them, will expose them further to international ophthalmology. That is not to say we don't do international ophthalmology in Nigeria, but then the trigger or the stimulant for you to now look outside of Nigeria is better when you sit for such exams. And that is why I'm encouraging residents from Nigeria to take up these Ophthalmology Foundation exams, because I know it will be of a high benefit to every one of them, vis-a-vis the reciprocity, vis-a-vis opportunity for fellowship with hands-on outside of the country. I think I'll stop there for now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Adeola. Thank you. Cordula, would you mind sharing your screen and your presentation, please? Thank you.
Unmute. Yes, I will. So share my screen, and here we are. And let's make it bigger. So is it visible? Yes.
Not yet. Now it is. It's there now.
Okay, so thank you very much for inviting me to speak about the EOFF-OF Subspecialty Fellowship Program. EOFF actually stands for International Ophthalmological Fellowship Foundation. We are a German charity that was founded in 2007, and we're committed to enhancing eye care education and delivery in low-resource and underserved countries. Our program invites highly motivated young ophthalmologists from low resource and underserved countries to apply for a 3 months, a 6 months, or a 1-year EOFF OF subspecialty fellowship, which our fellows can then serve at international training centers. Usually these are university eye clinics, but can also be tertiary centers or huge teaching institutions. Immediately after having completed the EOFF OF subspecialty fellowship, they return to their home countries. They resume their position and take part in programs to preserve vision and prevent blindness. Due to national regulations in our host countries, mainly our fellowships are classified as observerships. However, there is an exception of host centers in India, Bangladesh, and China, where in some subspecialties like cataract surgery, glaucoma, and oculoplastic, clinical and even surgical experience can be granted. This is due to a temporary registration of the of the national specialist in ophthalmology degree by the Ministry of Health in India, Bangladesh, and China. Our program does not offer a degree, and there is no curriculum that needs to be followed. A reason for this is that the level of subspecialty education through the countries is very, very differing. And so we see our program as an individual support to enhance personal skills in eye care on an individual basis. And we want our candidates to have the chance to focus on challenges that come up in the daily work in their institutions. So fellowship opportunities. So we have the 3-month fellowship, which is the regular type. We have about 100 awards per year, and funding is from 5,000 euros to 6,000 US dollars, depending on who is the sponsor and depending on the host country. For the 6-month fellowship, we offer 6 awards per year. That is in collaboration with the Eye Cancer Foundation from New York. And these go with a grant of 8,000 US dollars, and they are typically served in countries where the prevalence of retinoblastoma is higher than in the Western countries like US, Europe, or Australia. Then we have the EOFF OF 1-year fellowship in collaboration with the Retina Research Foundation. We have 2 awards per year, and they are awarded with a grant of 35,000 US dollars. Last but not least, we have 1 award per year for the for the research fellowship in collaboration with the AOI, with the Academia Ophthalmologica Internationalis, and this goes with 12,000 euros. And we're looking for a candidate who is already doing a research project and wants to continue this research project in an international center. So where do we have our host centers? Currently, we're collaborating with about 103 host centers in 30 countries. As you can see, there is a good number of institutions in the US, and there are many institutes in Europe, especially in Germany, as we are a German initiative. So we have very good contacts to our local university eye clinics. But we also have host centers in Latin America, in Africa, in Nigeria, for example. And we have host centers in India for cataract surgery, as I mentioned before. So I think there is a good number of host institutions, and our candidates have a good choice. This is about the international awareness of our program. So the countries that are marked in red actually are host countries, like Europe, like United States, Australia. And countries that are marked in yellow actually are countries where our candidates come from. And there are several countries also that are marked in red and black. These are countries, we call them hybrid countries, because in these countries, we have teaching institutions, and we have fellows coming from there. So in Nigeria, for example, it's the Retina Foundation in Lagos, where Professor Kunle Hassan is one of the directors. So, what are the popular countries to serve the fellowships in? Of course, it is the United States, it is UK, it is India. This is due to the option of undergoing surgical clinical experience and surgical training in some subspecialties. But it is also Germany, which is very good, what we think. We also have teaching institutions in Francophone countries. This is especially for candidates from West Africa, where they have French as their main language. But we also have teaching institution, for example, in Portugal, which is very interesting for candidates from Lusophone countries in Africa. The most popular subspecialties are cataract surgery, glaucoma, pediatric ophthalmology, including strabismus, cornea and external diseases, oculoplastic, vitreoretina, and medical retina. It is important to say that we are not supporting refractive surgery and we are not supporting aesthetic surgery, as these surgeries or these types of surgery are not considered to be basic need for poor people from low resource and underserved countries. So this is about the application process, eligibility. Candidates are eligible when they hold nationality of and are permanently based in a low resource or underserved country. Ideally, they are 40 years of age at the time of submitting the application. Reason for this is that we want to support the younger generation of the ophthalmologists who still have a long career in front of them. And our candidates have completed a residency training and have obtained their specialist in ophthalmology degree. They come with a strong recommendation from the previous or the present chair, whereas the previous chair could also be the residency director. Ideally, they hold a public services or a teaching position in their home clinic. And of course, our candidates are committed to resume their position after the training, to apply the newly acquired skills and knowledge, and to work in programs to prevent blindness and preserve vision. As I mentioned before, it is important to have a clear idea of what aspects in the subspecialty a candidate wishes to focus on. As Nicola said, the Ophthalmology Foundation examinations find strong consideration in our assessment. And I can really tell you that taking the Ophthalmology Foundation examination actually pushes forward your application enormously. From September 2027 on, as Nicola said, the OF exams will be a mandatory requirement for an application for our program. So the application process is relatively simple, as I think. Candidates may gather information on the program from our website. Then there will be an online registration form with an upload section for requested documents. These online registration forms are available in English, in Spanish, in French, and in Portuguese. And requested documents actually are a scan of the passport, are a picture portrait, are the specialist in ophthalmology degree, and two recommendation letters from previous and present chair, and if available, the Ophthalmology Foundation examination certificates. After that, after submitting the form to our office, we will determine the eligibility and will send out an application summary as a PDF file. And with that, candidates may choose and contact their favorite host from the EOFF host network. It's one host at a time for the contact. Usually, our hosts or preceptors will invite for a short interview, and then the candidate can agree on a proposed start date. After that, the host finally decides and returns the duly signed host notice of acceptance form to the candidate and to us. And then we can process the then complete application file for experts review and funding decision. So there will be 2 application deadlines in the near future. So July 31st is not really makeable, I would say. So better go for the February 28th, 2027 deadline and for the August 31st, 2027 deadline. And again, very important to say, we strongly recommend passing or sitting the Ophthalmology Foundation exams. So this is how the host network looks like. It is searchable by country, by city. It is searchable by host institution or host's name. And it is you can filter it by subspecialty or by duration. And if you click on the institute's name, then you will get a look in the back end where we have the host institution's details. Also, on the right-hand side, you can see the name of the subspecialty preceptors, the contact of the subspecialty preceptor, and the duration and the classification of the program. Yes, we are very happy and we congratulate our candidates from who have done the Ophthalmology Foundation examinations. So Dr. Newma, Dr. Baba, and Dr. Al-Bishari actually have been awarded an EOFF-OF fellowship, and we are looking forward to receiving the applications of Dr. Zakaria and Dr. Bilal. And as Nicola already said, Dr. Gebri Kidan from Ethiopia or Rwanda, who was awarded the prestigious Molly and David Foundation Travel Grant, is actually applying for a fellowship with us. So he is in the process of identifying a host. Yes, on our website, you will also find some experience reports from former fellows. Maybe this is interesting for one or another of. And for example, here, this was Dr. Nomo from Cameroon, who has served a fellowship in strabismus in pediatric ophthalmology in French language at a host institution in France. So this was a very good match. For example, this is a lady from India. She was serving in at the University of Michigan in Kellogg Eye Center, and also she was very happy. But you may read through all these experiences. A warm thank you goes to our sponsors. We get funding from international industry, international ophthalmic industry, as well as from German industry. We get funding from ophthalmological societies, from subspecialty societies, and from international and German foundations. So further information can be gathered from our website. And if you've got any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. And I think Rosie will again post all our contact details in the chat messenger from the Zoom call. Okay, thank you very much for your attention, and I'll be happy to join the call until the end. So if you've got any questions, you may ask me. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Cordula. We are now heading to the Q&A session, so I'm sure we'll have some questions for you. And if anyone does have any questions live that they would like answered, please drop them in the box below. Vicky, I will hand it over to you now. Thank you.
Thank you, Rosie. So the first question we have is for Nicola. Can the FIOF title help one practice abroad?
Sorry, you got that.
Can the FIOF title help someone practice abroad?
No, it's not a license to practice, but it gives you an advantage if you're competing against someone that hasn't passed it.
Thank you. The next question we have is for Nicola. What is the benefit of the exam, or Adiola may answer, what is the benefit of the exam for senior registrars in ophthalmology in Nigeria?
Adiola, do you want to?
Yes. I want to assume that question is from somebody who already has a fellowship, because it says, what is the benefit for senior ophthalmologists? Did it say?
Benefit of the exam for a senior registrar in ophthalmology in Nigeria.
Oh, one benefit is you would have the certification, and it will also aid the application for fellowship application outside of Nigeria. I mean, you heard what Cordula said about OF exam. Even before then, it's another way of having an international certification like the reciprocity with the other college. And then you can also do your fellowship training outside of Nigeria, at least through the OF. So that it's a great benefit. So it's appropriate for senior registrars.
Thank you very much. The next question we have is for Nicola. For those who have FICO previously, is there any way that they could be integrated into the OF exams?
FICO. So if you've taken and been successful in the FICO exam, up until including 2022, then you are exempt from elements of our exam. So if you pass their vision and optics, for example, you can move directly to our clinical exam.
Thank you very much. The next question here is for Nicola. Is it possible to apply now and still be ready for September?
Yes, 100%. Our closing date is at the end of July, usually extended for another additional week because of the application forms coming in. So it gives you ample time to apply, prepare, and take the exam on the given date.
Thank you very much. The next question we have is for Cordula. Is the fellowship program fully funded? Cordula, you're on mute. Sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sorry. Yeah, actually, we give a lump amount of 5,000 euros or 6,000 US dollars maximum to the candidate, and the candidate can spend the money as needed. So if someone cannot cover all expenses through the stipend, then the candidate will have to cover the rest from own means. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The next question we have is for Nicola. Why take the Ophthalmology Foundation exams and not the FICO exams?
That's a really good question. Firstly, we are high quality, low cost. So our exams are exceptionally high standard, and the cost of them are at least half the cost of any other international examination. So we're internationally recognised. We also offer more fellowship opportunities than any other international organisation, which means that if you take the OF exams, you have a higher percentage chance of obtaining a fellowship. And basically, overall, we're better. So we're modern, we're efficient, we're online, we bring the exam to you, we're cost effective. You can spread your payments over 3 months, 6 months. Exceptionally high standard, which will be recognised by the Royal College of Glasgow. So you'll be able to move through their system as well. So we have the opportunity of a David and Molly Pyatt Award of $10,000. So overall, it's a good opportunity, and also we're working closely with the society in Nigeria. So yeah, I mean overall, it's a good opportunity compared to other, not just ICO, but any other international exam.
Thank you, Nicola. The next question we have is for Rosie. What are the fees for Nigeria, please?
So the fees for the basic science are $250, optics, refraction, and instruments is $175, and clinical ophthalmology is $350. I will put that into the chat as well, just so everyone has it there.
Thank you very much. The next question we have is for Nicola. What is the pathway to apply for fellowship?
For a fellowship.
Yes.
So ideally, we want candidates to take the vision and optics exam and the clinical exam. And as of 2027, it will be a prerequisite to have passed either the visual or the clinical exam to be able to move through and apply for a fellowship.
Thank you very much. The next question we have is for Cordula. We receive this question quite frequently. Is the age limit certain, or is there any wiggle room?
So actually, the idea of our program is to support young ophthalmologists from low-resource and underserved countries who have not yet had the chance probably to go abroad and train their subspecialty in an international environment. However, we are looking for candidates whose training makes a difference to the home institution, and so we are a little flexible when it comes to the age limit, and we would. But certainly, we have to draw a line somewhere, and so it's a little above 40 at the time of submitting the application. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Cordula. The last question we have is there an expiration date on our certificates?
No, so there's no expiration date on our certificates, and you can actually take the exam as many times as you need to. So obviously we want you to pass first time. We provide all the material, question prep, etc., for you to be successful, and that's our main aim. But if you're not successful on your first attempt, then you can take the exam again, and there's no time limit in between exams. So you could be successful in your visual this year and then leave it 3 or 4 years if you needed to take the next exam. Most trainees take visual and optics in the first time and then clinical, but obviously the pathway is open. You need to fit it around your career, life, commitments, etc. So it's a very flexible system.
Thank you very much. We just have one more question. What is the scope of the exam? So syllabus and the reading list, where can they find them?
They're available on our website. So there is a topic list on our website that is a smaller version of the PCSE that we've looked at and put all the main topics in. And so that is your topic list. And then there's a suggested reading list online, which suggests good websites, books. BCSE is quite expensive, so we're not suggesting that you go out and purchase that. But the books and the questions that are as a prep tool online, and also the ones that we're working with CyberSight, they have been tested out by our committee, so they are definitely aligned in the same format, etc., as the main exam. So I would definitely go on if you want to get some idea of how the exam is structured. Then go onto our website after this meeting, and then just try out the questions just to get some idea, and to see and give you the correct answer. Hopefully you've got it right, but if you haven't, it'll tell you what the correct answer is.
Thank you very much. And that is all the questions we have. Thank you, Rosie.
Thank you, Vicky. And thank you all for answering those questions. I have just popped the sample questions and suggested reading list into the chat, as well as the link so that you can register for our examinations. And I've also included all of our contact details, so please feel free to reach out to any of us at any time if you have any questions. We also have social media, so just look up Ophthalmology Foundation across Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook, and you can find us there. We will be adding this recording to our YouTube, so we have a playlist there of different webinars as well if you'd like to watch, and we will send you the link once it is ready and live online. So thank you so much to everyone. Oh, sorry, Nicola. Did you have something to say?
No, that's all right. Sorry, Rosie, to interrupt. I just want to thank Adiola Onakoya and also Gloria Patrick Farif, who has now become a member of our board, our Ophthalmology Foundation board. So just really appreciate both of your input. And Adiola, thank you for joining us as a panelist this evening. We really appreciate you working with us.
My pleasure. Yeah, thank you. My pleasure. Right.
Great. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. We look forward to hearing from you all soon.
Okay. Yeah. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.